My name is Saabina Siraj. I'm the director of Favone Laundromat Pvt Ltd, and I'm currently here from Trivandrum. All of us in the laundry industry, we've been through the same. We've been called dhobis, literally. Being a qualified engineer and then MBA, and then to try to convince people around you, why do you have to go into washing clothes and be a dhobi? Basically, in my language, they said alak. So it was difficult to convince. Even now, it is difficult to convince. But I understand, me, my partner, we understand that laundry means it's the future. It's going to make money. It's an industry that's had huge potential that is sometimes invisible to the people out there just because of the social stigma. As all entrepreneurs of India, we all have our own share of struggles, and GST is something we've all been dealing with. So what I would like to concentrate is on the idea of GST at 18% for laundry industry. Currently, we are charged at 9% GST, at 9% CGST, 9% SGST, which brings it to about 18% of GST for us. Why? Laundry is not a luxury segment as it is classified right now. We need roti, we need saaf kapda, and we need makan. It is an essential service. Why shouldn't we be considered as an essential service and be charged or be rated in the 5% segment? My biggest issue with this is that as long as we stay in the 18%, the large segment of unorganized players in the market will continue to remain unregistered. Why can't we create an inclusive economy? We can bring the entire industry to be registered, at least 80%. If we bring the huge extra cost that we pass on to our customers of 18% can be reduced to 5%. With input credit would be a miracle, but even without input credit, if we can bring it down to 5%, it brings about significant change in terms of customers' perception. I'd like to talk about the B2C impact. Let's see a customer who brings in a sari to process at rupees 100. And the customer sees that he's paying 18 rupees extra versus the 5% that could have been given, and there's a 13 rupees difference. This 13 rupees makes the deciding factor for the customer to decide how many saris to give, how frequently to give. Should I give it once in a month? Should I just give only my function wear? Should I just give when I have extremely no time? Might as well just give it to my local dhobi. Shouldn't it be brought to the 5% level so as to increase the volume? We do not get a single rupee extra even if the government decides to reduce money. But this reduction will bring in better volume, better sales, and ultimately better market of all-inclusive laundry segment. This particular segment, where we have almost 90% of the players being in the unorganized sector, there's no accounting, there's no accountability, there's no transparency. Nobody knows about the money transactions happening here. Why can't we push it into a system where we incentivize our players to register? Bringing it to a 5% margin will help, will ensure that a lot of people who are on the who are undecided about the benefits to actually register with the government, to actually get into a system where they follow the norms, to make sure that the environmental pollution control laws are followed, factories and boilers pollution control is followed, all sorts of treatment, everything will come under the government radar. As of now, there is actually a possibility of a reverse GST payment for the companies that have registered with GST. That is, if I, as a company, we are registered with GST, and if I try to do a transaction with a non-registered entity, I will be charged reverse GST. This is currently put on hold, but there is a provision for this. And once the financial implications of this becomes more clearer to the authorities, I'm sure this rule will be put back, and we will reach a stage where all our transactions will have to be done between the registered entities only. And when that happens, what happens to the small players? What happens to the people who straight away jump from a local dhobi to straight away 18%? That doesn't seem like a viable option. What will that lead to? more of account fudging, more of fake reports, more of hiding of assets or accounting and everything. Why can't we bring in 5% as a common industry and encourage more people who have undecided to come in? It makes much more sense. We are all part of the laundry and dry cleaning industry. We can form exclusive committees within our respected states of only the laundry and dry cleaning service providers. We can write down an appeal and approach our respective state finance ministers, and they are the ones who are supposed to take it to the GST Council. The Rate Rationalizing Committee, currently it's headed by Shri Bommai. They meet up at regular intervals, they evaluate all the necessary appeals and go through the merits of each individual ones and consider if it needs to be done. And if they are convinced, obviously, there will be a change in the next GST panel, and it will be applied. And when I'm talking about GST, I'm not talking about only private limited companies. I'm not talking about multi-branched brands. I'm talking about the small players too. I'm talking about the MSMEs who have potential to grow. We have this entire industry that can work together to be brought about a positive change. The examples of the industries that have actually managed to bring down their tax brackets. This has happened by formally joining together, creating appeals, approaching the right people, putting in the right effort to bring down their tax bracket. The most recent example is the one that I've mentioned here, that is the online housekeeping ones. We must have come across this in the news where Urban Clap, all of them, they found that they appealed, went through the right channels, made sure that they got their rightfully deserved tax bracket. This is not impossible, and it's not unachievable. I'm sure we can do it because we all have a lot of legacy businesses here, as Sir mentioned. We have a lot of legacy businesses also. We have a lot of senior entrepreneurs here who have the capability of doing this. I request all of you, including us, if there's anything I can do from my side, I would love to do this. Please, I request all of you to put in the initiative to let us proceed with this.